Greetings, friends. Welcome to the rabbit hole. What I'm going to say in this program will shock you, but that's the objective of this channel. I want to show you heterodoxy, and that means always speaking from the limits from the other side and rethinking absolutely everything. I'm going to talk about masturbation and why we should avoid it. In fact, I think we should generally avoid ejaculation altogether. But let's start with masturbation. Plenty of top-tier men avoid sex or masturbation for optimal performance. Example: Cristiano Ronaldo. While not a boxer, the legendary footballer Cristiano Ronaldo is known for his extreme discipline and has reportedly abstained from sex before important matches to ensure optimal physical condition and performance. When we look at things from a biological perspective, it's incredibly revealing. Millions of years ago, primitive life forms like viruses and bacteria began reproducing by copying their genetic material. This process allowed them to survive and expand. Sometimes mutations would cause variations in the genetic material, leading to new life forms that could replace the old ones, or vice versa, resulting in the extinction of one. These new organisms would spread as far as they could until a more adapted form came along and took over. Over time, life forms evolved and became more complex, all as part of our genetic material strategy. From one viewpoint, we are merely vessels designed to protect and spread our genes as much as possible. Even traits like our intelligence and ability to empathize are skills we've developed in the fight against other life forms and genetic competitors. This force is incredibly powerful. Think about it. All your ancestors, from the dawn of life on Earth to today, managed to reproduce. You are the latest runner in a race that began millions of years ago. Now consider why we make the greatest sacrifices, even to the point of giving our own lives. We do it for love or for our children. When you feel sexual desire, that primal force is at work within you. In many ways, it's the driving purpose of your existence. Today, with all our civilizational advancements, it's uncommon for someone to die without descendants or without ever pairing up. Most of us have that opportunity. But in the environment where we evolved, it wasn't like that. We've all seen documentaries where males fight for females. Back then, life expectancy was much shorter than it is now. As a result, we had only a few chances to reproduce. And this is the heritage we've inherited. The conditions have changed, but the forces at play are the same. We now understand that sexual energy is one of the most potent forces we possess. Some theories, like those of Freud, suggest it underlies many of our other impulses. Others link creative energy directly to sexual energy. Even the famous tennis player Bjorn Borg once admitted that he avoided sex before a big match because it drained his energy and focus. Consider this: with your sexual energy, you have the potential to fertilize all of humanity. It's conceivable that in 1,000, 100,000, or even 1,000,000 years, all human beings could be your descendants. Each ejaculation contains about 100 million sperm, each capable of fertilizing an egg and creating a unique human being. If a sperm were the size of a human, it would travel the equivalent of the Earth's circumference from your testicles to the egg, a journey filled with obstacles. This illustrates the tremendous amount of energy involved. We all know how ejaculation affects our mood, energy levels, and emotions. Now let's explore why we masturbate. The simple answer is that it's pleasurable, but I believe it's also a form of relief. When energy accumulates, it creates tension, much like a pressure cooker building up steam. This tension causes discomfort, and our body seeks relief, often through sexual release, because we've learned to associate it with that form of energy discharge. Essentially, our body is urging us to reproduce. These urges are instinctual, but instincts can be deceived. We use condoms, engage in sex with non-fertile partners, or masturbate. Our body's goal is to manage and relieve sexual tension. But that tension is pure energy. When we masturbate, we release that energy. So while it may bring temporary relief, it's also a way of dissipating a powerful force within us. Let's move into the next point. The intensity of the sexual impulse stems from the historical scarcity of sex. Much like our cravings for another addiction like alcohol, which arise from their scarcity or absence in nature. Consequently, we aren't wired to access these pleasures at our whim. Consider this. When a male successfully mates, it's after overcoming significant hurdles. He must first ensure his survival, a feat in itself. Then he secures sustenance, likely proving his superiority to other males in the process. Furthermore, he often convinces the female that he is worthy, that his genetic material is superior. Reflect on the journey the male undertakes to experience the pleasure of mating. Now, imagine what occurs when instead of channeling that energy into acquiring resources, proving our superiority, or demonstrating the quality of our genes, we relieve ourselves through masturbation. In doing so, our body no longer sees the need for such pursuits. It interprets that we've momentarily fulfilled our vital mission. We've expelled our seed and released that tension. From a biological standpoint, there's little more to do than perhaps sustain ourselves and prepare for the next mating opportunity. It's challenging to encapsulate the depth and complexity of this concept, but I hope I'm conveying the underlying essence effectively. Among certain social apes, including humans, it's observed that some males opt for frequent masturbation instead of engaging in the competitive pursuit of power or access to mates. Imagine stepping into the mindset of such a primate. Why bother with the strife of dominance battles or the complexities of courtship rituals when a moment of self-gratification offers immediate relief? For this primate, masturbation becomes a compensatory mechanism, a way to conserve energy and avoid unnecessary risks. At first glance, this approach may seem rational. After all, why expose oneself to potential harm or exertion when solitary pleasure offers a simpler alternative? Yet for humans, existence transcends the purely biological. We are driven by a quest for meaning and fulfillment that extends beyond mere survival instincts. Consider that even meeting our most basic needs, including those of sex, doesn't guarantee lasting satisfaction. Experience often reveals a lingering sense of emptiness in their wake. This underscores a fundamental truth. Our fulfillment hinges on more than just the release of sexual energy or the accumulation of material comforts. Human satisfaction derives from imbuing our lives with purpose and significance, from forging meaningful connections, nurturing personal growth, and contributing to the welfare of others. Unlike our primate counterparts, we possess the capacity for introspection, creativity, and moral agency, attributes that propel us toward a higher calling. While the allure of instant gratification may tempt us to seek refuge in solitary indulgence, true fulfillment arises from embracing life's challenges, pursuing personal growth, and actively shaping our own destinies. In doing so, we transcend our primal impulses and embrace the richness of our human experience.